Hello everybody, hope you're well. We're going to be getting straight onto it this week. We're going to be doing the drainage. We're going to be replacing all the underground pipe from the back of the house all the way down to the mains, replacing that with plastic. We're going to be installing a brand new inspection chamber, and we're going to be installing a brand new soakaway, and we're going to show you the lot and show you everything that goes into it. Blah, 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 blah. Stick with us, we'll show you. Now when it comes to drainage, there's always that question, what fall do you have the pipe? Now if you look at the textbooks and you look at some of the YouTube videos, they'll tell you that it's 1 in 40. Every 40 inches horizontal, the pipe is supposed to drop down 1 inch. In new money, every 1,000 millimetres, it goes down 25. That is the so-called rule. Now, me and Rich had a bit of an argument about this. He said there was another way of doing this. And I said, well, let's just stick to the 1 in 40, because that clearly works. He said, no, do it my way. I said, well, you know, what is your way? So then he showed me. What do you think of this? Is this an incorrect fall or a correct fall? What would you go with? Now when he showed me that, I said, no, Rich, no, that's got to be an incorrect fall. Let's just stick to the 1 in 40. Well, then Matt overheard and he piped up, but he went, no, I think Richard is right. I think we should do the fall this way. I said, no, fellas, let's just not do that. All right, let's just not do that. Let's just stick to 1 in 40. That's what we're going to do. We're going to stick to 1 in 40. We're going to try our hardest to keep as close to that as possible. Right, let's get on with it. Right, and as you've just seen, Rich has cut the pipe out and Tony has been down and ripped the pipe out of the ground all the way down and dug down to the depth that we need, which is basically our floor height as you see it in the extension over there. We're going to go talk through all the levels a little bit later. In the first episode of this series I said how lucky that we got with the fall on this, and I'll explain all that in a second. A little bit later on, I should say. Got the biggest, sweepiest 90 I could find. So that's going to go basically where you see it, connected to the existing soil pipe, which we are going to replace at a later date, because that's going to be encased in the media wall, I believe. So while we've got the chance, just replace the lot. That, hopefully, in a future episode will become redundant, so we can get rid of that. And also, that is feeding the sink, I believe, from the kitchen. Either way, the kitchen is now going over here, so that'll be redundant as well. So we'll just get rid of this pipe and then replace it all new in a wanna. No leaks, no nothing. Perfect. So, as I say, the biggest, sweepiest 90, that's going to go basically there. We will have to take a little bit out of this floor by the look of it because we hardcored it. I forgot about that. It was the level that we need is the dirt level basically that we dug out, and then it's going to flow. I say flow. Go through this little hole here that we done earlier, and then it's going to go into that pot, and then we're going to get our levels and our fall. And as I say, we'll explain how lucky we got later on. Now, I did say this is going to be complicated. We have actually simplified it a bit, and I'll go into that again a little bit later on, because what we need going into this has diminished slightly, I would say. So we've gone with a 300 inspection chamber, not a 450 or anything like that, because we don't need the inlets, because there's not a lot going into this really, because we're going down the old soakaway route, which will be in another episode. So that is basically it. We'll get started. Rich has dug down lower than our inlet there, or outlet. What's that, Rich?
I thought that was the outlet.
That's the outlet. That's the outlet. Dug lower in order for us, obviously, for the create space for the bottom of the chamber, and also the pea gravel. which we have quite conveniently over here. So we're going to start that now, get that in, get that attached to that. We'll show you all that, how that's been done, and then we'll go from there.
Look at me, sure enough.
Right, get the lube, in which case this is the stuff that the place I went to sold. I've never seen it in a vessel like that before.
Isn't lube a good word?
It is. Comes handy every now and again.
What, the word lube or lube?
Yeah, if you're a crossword person.
We digress.
Yeah, moving on. Yeah, so lube all the joints. Now we've done all this, quite a detailed how-to in terms of underground and push fit pipe and all that sort of stuff in this video. So if you really want ins and outs, literally, watch that one. We're just going to show you how we're doing this particular job in this one. So we just lube that bit up. Get that around there, like so, and then the chamfered edge gets lubed up as well. And then,
yeah.
Why not? I'll tell you what.
Can't demonstrate if it's not right, can you?
No, absolutely not. There you go. Get that round there, and then we've obviously attached the plastic to clay. I'll just show you that. Plastic to clay coupler there, as you can see. It widens out because the clay stuff, even though it's the same size, technically two different building materials, means that they're different thicknesses externally. So, and as you can see, that flanges out to cover that. It goes through there all the way as far as it'll go, as the plastic is. And there you go. And all you do then is put that on, tighten up these. There you go. That's in. Look, tighten up those. What they're called? Jubilee clips, thank you very much. But before we do that, to make our life easier, we'll attach that into the inspection chamber. Let's see how easy this is.
Less awkward position.
There we go.
Yeah, it's all the way in.
All the way in. As you can see, always check. If you can't see it, try and get your hand down. Try and feel that positive click, so to speak. Here we go. If we swap around now, put that down there. And that is basically it. We've got to move we've made that a little bit longer. So we'll move the pea gravel over. We'll get that level now. You haven't got to put a fall on these. The fall is built in like a shower tray or a bath. So fit it level. The fall is already pre-formed into it. Get level. And then from there, we're just going to go straight up in a straight line, with a bit of a break in it, which we'll go into in a second, straight to where I showed you earlier. And that is basically it. And then we'll talk about, as I said, how lucky we've got with the fall. Because, well, we'll go into all that in a little more detail. I'll show you a little bit in a minute. So yeah, there we go. Right, just to show you this, got that level, just to prove my point earlier. Get it level both ways, best you can. Like that. But then if I go underneath all the way, you see it's a mile out, which is what it should be. And it's important, make your life easier. It's not a necessity because there is ways around it, but you want this column to come up with the rises, which I'll show you later, as plumb as possible. If it has to go on the sconce because of whatever you've got, you might have a network of pipes around here or whatever, there's ways you can get around it. But if you've got all the room in the world like we have, make life easy for yourself. Get it as level as you can so it's as plumb as it can be, and there you go. And that's already attached onto that Jubilee clip, 8mm bit, hex bit, nut drive, whatever you want to call it. In an impact driver, well, ours is an impact driver, don't give it the beans. Just until it's tight, just you know, just very gently give it the pulse. You know what I mean? Until you're happy that it's very tight, but don't just go for it. You're better off having an 8mm hand spanner kind of thing if you can, if you've never done it before. But I like to think that we know what we're doing. Well, we're well versed in this sort of stuff, so we know not to do it. So there we go. That's that. Now, if I can turn you around, if I step over here, Rich is just digging out a little bit more in line with what we need to be. That's what we're aiming for down there. Oh, Mick is just going to get in the way of it. No. Good timing, Mick. Great. Here he comes to the pipe. Yeah, get that down to height. Bit of pea gravelling. And away we go. Right then. Okay. Full disclosure, cards on the table. We have...
You said we?
Yes.
Me.
Okay. Yep, fair enough.
Don't?
In there. Okay. Cut it too short, so it's going to, well, we've recut it now, and we're going to show you how easy it is when using these couplers that we've got here, the Jubilee clip type, how easy it is to do this kind of thing. So we've got to do it on this side because there's no socketed end on this bend, so we've got to do it anyway. And this is the existing, so cut it off, and then we've left with an exactly, by pure chance, 400mm pipe, which you've cut, and get it into place.
Okay.
And we want to get this cut as tight as possible. So I say it's a 400mm, so we've cut it at 400mm. Then these slide over to our mark. We've already marked 50mm up on the pipe.
Here somewhere. There it is.
There it is, look.
There.
There it is. So there
That's
you
all
go.
the way down.
Tighten that up. And that's that connected. Then this top one lines up. There we go. That gets tightened up, and then there you have it.
There we are. Little tweak.
That easy. Beautiful. So if you ever in this kind of situation, use those. They're brilliant. They are more expensive than the plastic couplers, and obviously you don't want to use them on a soil stack on a side of a house that's going to be seen. I know this is on the side of a house, but all this is going to be internal and boxed out and all that. So you wouldn't use them. You wouldn't use them for that because they are quite unsightly, but they are also easy and brilliant. And there we have it. We are now connected all the way down. We've got a lovely fall on it, but we haven't got the exact correct fall, and I'll go into why, and also why we're happy with the fall that we've got in a second. But we are connected all the way down to there, and I just want to show you where we are. How these go together. So we put our inspection chamber on earlier, and then these risers just come in these sections. There you have it. Well, 200mm or something each one, yeah. And you just
one ring on there already.
One ring, and then you build them up however high you want them until you're out the ground, and you cut it flush, and then you choose your lid whether you want it circle, square, whatever. This is obviously going to go in the lawn, so there we go. And that is basically, that's it. It's all incredibly simple, and we've got nothing going into this as yet. There will do. That's right. There will be in the house. There's another toilet to go in that corner over there, and that's going to go into internally where this is on the floor as well, which we will have a look at in a second, I think. But the main cause of the issues now is the soakaway. Where do we put it? How deep we got to go? How big is the hole going to be? We'll do it now, and I'll do it before I lose my boot. Morning, Richard. It's the following day. First track barrow of pea gravel that I picked up this morning is coming down, and we've got to get a bit of a crack on because they're coming to pick up the digger at about midday, so we've got a fair bit to do. So I can't film this the way I wanted it to, so I'm going to scoot through it now and talk you through it later. That is the 6-inch main there that we can't touch. So that's that bait. I don't know why, but I wanted to show you that. We've come here, we've just give ourselves enough room in case if we cut that and it broke, we've got somewhere else to go. If we took it all the way to that within, you know, you know, I'm trying to insert the word there, practicalities, then we could, if that broke, would be in trouble because we don't want to touch that. Now the reason why we've come this far down and not just finished it just there, simply because when we had a CCTV camera down here, the report showed that there was roots within the system, which is obviously bad. So if you're having all this work done, why not just dig it all out, get rid of it, replace it with new, no roots. But when we took the old pipe out, there was no evidence of that, was there, Rich? No evidence of any...
No, nothing to the extreme that they were talking about.
No, so, but there we go, it's done now, and it's lovely, and it's a lot better. Now, as I say, we've got to crack on, because we need to get that pea gravel in. We need to then backfill it. We need to get rid of that pile there for a start off. We need to backfill all that, because then the soakaway can be dug where that pile is, and then this can be all levelled off. Then once this is pea gravelled, that can be levelled off, and we've got a load of these planings, a smattering of those just over the top, in order for us to finally get out of the mud, which will be, as I said earlier, lovely. So we're going to crack on with that now, and I'll tell you all about this a little bit later on. Right, well, the drainage that we put in down there has now been buried, lost but not forgotten, because we are focusing our attention now on the soakaway, which has been dug by the digger and finished off by hand by Matthew. Hello, Matthew. There we go, modelling the lovely hoodie, TuffStuff hoodie with our logo on it. Look at that. This will be in our spring collection. There you go. Right, we'll go through this then step by step now. That's a big old hole, simply because it's got to be, we'll go through all the ins and outs later, cubic metre, all that sort of stuff, but it's from the height of the basement, or the ground floor height of what am I after? The floor level. The inlet, yeah, of the basement, not the garden. It steps up here, which means you've had to dig down to the level of the garden and then down from there, so it's a lot deeper than, which seems like deeper than what it should be, but it is correct. So what we're going to do now is put 100ml of pea gravel into that, and then we're going to fill up with our crates, which are here, again modelled by the lovely Matthew and Michael this time.
Whatever you do, don't move.
There you go. Mickey's modelling our last season's range. Yeah, put them in. We'll talk for that in a second. So let's get some pea gravel in there then, and then we'll go from there. Hello, can you see me? Right then, just to talk you through what our inlet's doing here. It's basically going from where we need it to be. ACO drainage will be around the perimeter of this building, and it'll all be fall into this 110mm underground pipe there, and that is just falling into our hole over there, i.e. the soakaway. Forget about the old 1 in 40, 1 in 80, all that sort of stuff. Forget ratios. You just want to fall on it. It's just water, and we want it to go down here. So however it works for you, just get it down and don't worry about it. And here we are into our hole, cubic metre deep. Obviously we've talked about the fact that we have to go deeper for us here to get down to the ground level of the basement, and then it's our cubic metre from that point. Beautiful, yeah, that's, believe it or not, that's our finished floor level of the basement. So dug down to there and then gone down. Now what we want to do here, because we are taking out, sorry, this soakaway is taking the entire house plus the extension plus the driveway as it was originally. Everything, all stormwater from the entire property is going into this, so we've gone a little bit deeper than really what we needed to in terms of regs, but why not? You can go too small, you can't really go too big for it, providing you've got the garden to do it, which we have here. So what we're going to do now then, we've got 100ml of pea gravel at the bottom. Now we know then when we put 3 of our crates high, the hole for that it enters the crate is at this height here. We'll go for that in a second. And then we're just going to build them up, stack them 2 lengthways, bond them in like Jenga, 2 the other way, then 2 the other way. Pipe goes into it, and it's all going to get wrapped in the membrane, which we'll do now, which might be a bit awkward, but we'll give it a go. So pass that membrane over, please, Michael. Sorry, mate.
Okay.
Now you can buy this in rolls, but I've gone for the sheet because we want to wrap it up like a present. It might be easier, but we will have a lot left over.
Ooh.
So it's a
Still Halloween. wearing clothes when we get out of there.
Yeah. So you'll be wearing clothes by the time we get out of there. Yeah. Yeah, go for it then, mate. It's white.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Release the tension off that.
Where your feet are then. Okay. He's down, he's down. Well, as you can see, if I come in for the money shot, there you have it, yeah. You can take 2 humans. Apparently, what they tell you is if this is under 500 mil up to the ground, which this will be, then it's something like 17 tonne or something. These things can withstand, apparently. Or, I don't know. I'll look it up. I'll find out. It's HGV, you know, this is the back garden, so it's irrelevant really, but that's how strong apparently they're supposed to be. Now this membrane then gets wrapped round, and the idea is that stops all the silt and all the dirt going into it and clogging it all up. Obviously the water passes straight through it. It rains down the guttering, down the downpipe, into 100 mil, down into this, and then it just soaks away underneath. Now what we do now is fill in, tuck it all in, as I say, just like a presents, and then fill the sides with pea gravel. And then bury it. And that's basically it. Now this hole is a lot bigger than what we need it, so it's a lot more than 100 mil each side. So it's going to take a fair bit of pea gravel, but you know, who cares? So yeah, that's that. And then what we will do now is it's got. I'll move the camera in a second and show you, but it has got holes on the side that you punch out to wherever the 100 mil fits into. They're off centre to where our pipe is, so we've got to elbow that round. Bit of fiddly bit to do with that, but that's basically it. And that is the soakaway. Anything more to say on that, fellas?
Yeah, I don't like it.
Yeah, it's boring, isn't it? Great, yeah. Another 3 days work that no one's ever going to see. Well, there we have it. Let's not dwell on that. Right, and so we'll tuck it all up now, and we'll get the pea gravel round it, and that will be the end of our soakaway story. Well, weather-wise, it's a right mixed day. 1 minute it's glorious sunshine, the next it's raining like it is now, but it's all right though. It's not heavy enough to stop us. That now goes into that. I'll go into that a little bit more detail in a second. We're even going to test it, and we'll show you exactly how it all works. You know, why not? This is temporary, so ignore that. So this goes all the way up to our eco drainage, and as you can see, it's already dug out for it. So when the time comes, there'll be eco from that corner, which will probably have a down what's the word? Downpipe. Downpipe, there you go, that'll do. Drain pipe, downpipe, whatever, off this roof, which is going to be the terrace as well. That'll go down there, or wherever it may be, but it'll go into this eco drain, which will fall all the way into that, and from that point that way, it will fall this way, and down we go into the soakaway. I'm not going to show you too much that way, because it's going to ruin well, not ruin, but infringe on next week's episode, because we've got a fair bit of building done over there as well, but we'll show you that next time. We'll just concentrate on this for the moment. That, once it's all connected up, will link up to what's originally already there behind us regarding the driveway. The entire front of the house and the driveway all goes into one eco, and that goes all the way around the back of the house, and it used to go into the inspection chamber that was there and straight into the mains, but we've bypassed all that, hence the soakaway. So so that will be connected once we finish the building over there. So we're going to forget that for a minute. What we really want to do is get the downstairs toilet in. Now the reason why we didn't build this in whilst we were building that is because we were extremely time critical in terms of ripping all this out, getting all that down to height, getting it all dug out, getting it reconnected by the end of the day, so then the house can be back up and running. So we just done it all in one, and that was that. But now it's time to break into it and supply the downstairs loo, which will be around about here ish. So all I'm going to do now is get a piece of plastic between these two couplings. That goes exactly where we want it. It's got to okay that with the customer. That then gets linked. Off that, then there will be another Y piece, as I call it, which will probably be around about there. This is ish. Into that, there'll be this, which is a 110mm to 32mm, inch and a quarter, is it? Oh, I don't know. Reducer, which will pop, boom, straight in there, and then from that there'll be the 1.25 inch pipe that will go to where the sink will be, which will be just over here eventually, but we won't put that in just yet because we're going to trip up it, or we'll break it, so that will just be in there like that, and that'll be the end of that. So once that's in, broken into that, that's our drainage done. That's basically it. Now, as I say, we've already shown you how to do all this before in other videos, especially, I'll put it on screen again, just in case. I'll put a link to it as well in the description. So we won't go into how it all goes together in this video. If you're into it, go into that video, but for now, we'll just get this done. And then we'll get out of here. Right then, said toilet, said waste for sink. Down it goes, branched off, and down into the mains it goes. We'll explain why that's there and why it is where it is a little bit later on. But as it stands, let's test this. I don't know whether you can hear that. That is the hose pipe that's been in there now about 20-25 minutes. I just want to, not much test this really, but I just want to make sure we're not filling up. So down it comes. This is where it goes into our soakaway. These, I'll show you these in a second. In fact, I'll put it on screen now. These just tap out. They're built in. When I say tap out, I mean literally. How the others have stayed, and I don't know. I give it the slightest of knocking, it just flew out. And away it goes, straight into that, which I will show you. Where are we? Where are we? Can we see it? I can't see it. This might be. Oh, it's just there. Is that orange string poking through? Can't go any further than that due to the makeup of the actual crate itself. But yeah, there we go. That's in. Water is trickling out as it has been. You can just see it glistening at the bottom. As I say, that's had about 25 minutes, maybe half an hour now. So it's not filling up, it's not floating off. And that is that. I'll cover that up now. And there we go. These crates come in 1 metre by 500 and they're 400 tall, and we're 3 high there. So that's 1.2 cubic metres there, just in the crate. Obviously then we've got all this to make up, you know. Obviously if the water goes past that pipe it won't work anyway, but that isn't filling up, that is draining away. Lovely. If that was clay or something I might be a bit more concerned about that, but there we go, that is basically it. Now let's just have a quick chat about what is purposefully missing. I say purposefully. Do we need one? YouTube, I need your help. From the point where the ACO drainage will be, between there and its final destination, do we put in a silt trap in the middle? Now obviously it's a good idea. What happens is the water goes down, it carries the silt with it, it goes into the trap. Silt is obviously heavier than the water, that sinks to the bottom. As the water comes up, the clean water, so to speak, goes into the soakaway, and it stops all the debris from going into that and clogging that up over the years. Now, the reason why I haven't put one in yet, they're not very readily available, so it's only online. That's the only place I can get them. I can't find a shop that sells them. And for the trap, the bucket that obviously can be lifted out once it gets full, you can, you know, maintain it, and the lid for it, all in all, it's about 320 odd quid for it. Now it wouldn't concern me about putting a silt trap in here, I wouldn't bother, because it's just going into the ACO and down, so it's not really picking up any dirt, it's the driveway. As I say, all that is, it's all going to be linked in, and that's the only anomaly for all this. It's the only thing I really can't control. So do you think I need one? The money doesn't faze me. It's a lot more expensive than I thought it was going to be, but it is what it is. But, or if anyone knows where I can get a cheaper one, let me know, put it in the comments please. But do you think I need one, as in necessity? Oh, I don't know, I'm thinking do it anyway, but I do need to find one. So if you know anywhere I can get one from, let me know. Do I really need one, or do I not bother? Again, put it in the comments. Right, let's quickly talk about that soil pipe in there, and that'll be that. Right, and well, at the beginning of the episode, or towards the beginning of the episode, I mentioned how lucky we've been in terms of getting this pipe in, and I'll just go into that now. If you've seen the other episodes of this series, you'll remember that the lid to the inspection chamber was about so high. This is where the original ground level was, and then the outlet was around about here, obviously way too high. Now it went into the mains, which we obviously haven't touched, at a rate of 100 millimetres for every 1,000. Every metre it went down 4 inches. That's way too steep. That's you know, against the rule book, but it worked. It's the way it was done originally to the house. No one's ever touched it. It was perfect. It took the front of the house, all the water off the roof, all the water off the drive, through the ACO drainage, through the garage, all the way down here. It all went into the inspection chamber and all went down into the mains, and it never clogged. It didn't do anything. However, still too steep. So when we dipped it and we worked out how steep it was and whatnot, and then to how shallow we could get it now, where could we get it in terms of that magic 1 in 40, you know, for every metre out it's supposed to go down 25 mil. We dipped it and we worked out, keeping this ground level the way it is, it was 26 mil drop in every metre, which is, you know, 1 mil out perfect. It was like, we couldn't believe it. I thought, oh my word, this is like, you know, we can use gravity for all this. As it actually works out, it's probably more like 32 mil drop, which is ever so slightly still too steep. However, it was 100 mil every metre and it never clogged, so we're all right. As long as we're not too shallow, we're good. So we're happy with this. Of course, it's all working. It's been like this now for a week or so, constantly checked and everything's fine. So we got really lucky with that. Now, how about if we wasn't that lucky? If this level now was actually lower than the mains down there, something that we can't control, well then this would have had to have gone into a pump outside of the building. I'll put one on screen now. We've fitted one in the jobs before, where basically it's gravity fed just like it is from the house into that pump, which is lower than the mains. That pump then, as soon as it reaches a certain level, when it gets full to a certain amount, it'll flush itself. It's all powered in. It flushes itself, macerates itself up, and sends all the stuff out down a 75 mil tube, I believe, 75 mil hose, out and it can pump vertically, it's like 10 metres. So if we were like a few hundred mil low to where our mains were, of course it would have made that no problem at all. However, we got lucky, as I say, so this is good old-fashioned gravity, no power, no mains, no nothing. If there's power cuts or anything, it all still works, it's beautiful. We were very, very lucky, so we're happy with that. This toilet going out, we've purposely used one of these couplers here with the Jubilee clips, and we've purposely put it too far away, too close to the wall, too far away. Reason for that is it's got to be perfect to where it is its final resting place, so to speak, where it's going to live. You need the walls up to do that. The walls don't exist yet, so we can't do it. So by putting it too far away, it's only ever got to come closer towards us. Now to do that, to adjust that, you undo that, slide it off, cut that pipe, and that will bring it closer towards us. Now, if we try to get millimetre perfect now and we're too short, we need to extend this pipe, weld the furt. Let's not go into it, you've got to buy stuff, blah, blah, blah. This is far easier. We future-proofed ourselves by doing it this way. And this is the way it's going to stay. Any add-ons needed to this now, it's going to be like this for a few weeks, so we can add on, change things, blah, blah, blah. But no, we are very happy with the way that is. As I say, we got lucky. And we're all in. The groundworks is in now. We are back to the structure, which is what we're going to do for the next episode. Like building the actual thing, roofs on the lot. So please stick with us for that. For the next episode onwards, probably like a week by week vlog. I would have thought about how this job's going to go. We've done the stages now, really. We've just got to build the thing, get it up there whilst the weather holds, and it's not hammering it down, which inevitably it will do, but let's make hay while the sun shines, shall we? Or at least trying to. So that's it really for this episode. If you enjoyed it, thank you very much. Put it in the comments. If you didn't, keep it to yourself. We wonder why you made it to the end of the episode, but for those who did, thank you very, very much. Until next time, take care.